Everyone has a superpower based on the topography of where they were born. You are the first person to be born in space. It was an accident, of course. My birth, my being in space, and well, I suppose I was an accident as well. An accident from Director of Engineering screwing the fat janitor after hours when the rest of the shuttle team had retired. The odds that my mother had been able to hide her baby bump for 9 months. The chances that she had been a nurse before being selected from the program and knew how to give birth herself, in a maintenance closet, mere days before the mission was to return to Earth. Keeping me hidden was difficult in the small confines of the ship, but the other 150 crew members had been too busy to pay a maid much attention. After all, many insisted that it had not been worthwhile to bring her along, that a maid had been a waste of tax dollars. I suppose that makes me a waste of tax dollars as well. But there were those that spoke to her unique abilities as a maid, for she had been born deep in the snow of the north during the first blizzard of winter, that like the first snowfall she could smooth over any differences in her environment and make it appear uniform. As a maid, it meant that she had an extraordinary sense of cleanliness. As a mother, it meant she could ensure I was overlooked, that my crying was muffled, and later in life, that I appeared no different than anyone else. Star Child, she had called me as she smuggled me back into the atmosphere, tucked deep in her suit like a kangaroo would carry her young. Star Child, she whispered to me when the project disbanded, and she took me back to the inner-city apartment where I spent my early life. Star Child, she reprimanded, whenever I started pushing and pulling at the equilibrium of our apartment, when she would arrive home from work and all the furniture would be clustered at the center of the room, pulled together by a force point. When will I go to school? I asked her when I was 8, watching the uniformed children marching up the street through the wrought iron gates of the academy, one of them flicking flames across his fingers like a coin, while another left footprints of frost in the grass. You already go to school, Star Child, she said, and your teachers say you've been learning your numbers well and your reading has been progressing. Not that school, I had said, pulling a face. I want to go to the academy, the special school for the others like me. I held up a fist, and items on the desk in front of me flew towards it, pens and papers and pencils that stuck out like quivering quills out of my skin. Star Child, listen and stop that at once, she had said, her eyes level with mine. There are no others like you. Those children, they are all classified, they are all known. You are not like them, you never will be. And they can't know, do you understand me? I guess, I said with a huff, watching as one of the children cracked a joke and the others laughed. But I don't like my school. Everyone there knows we can't be like them. We can't be special. Star Child, you are special. One day they'll know that too. But not now. If they knew, they wouldn't take you to the academy. They'd take you somewhere else, somewhere terrible. And as I grew older, I realized that she was right. That when our neighbor started developing powers, a police squad showed up at her front door and classified her on the spot. That they left her with a tattoo on her shoulder, a tattoo of a lightning bolt, symbolizing the storm she had been born during, just like the tattoo of a snowflake on my mother's shoulder, colored dull gray, to indicate a low threat potential. So instead of going to the academy, I created an academy of my own, in my room. Mother made me turn the lights out at 10, so during the day I collected light outside, keeping it in one of the dark holes I could create when I closed my fist hard enough, and letting it loose at night to read books I had stolen from the library, from the section for the special children that I could only access if the librarians were distracted. But distractions came easy to me. As I grew older, the city streets became more populated with the blue uniforms of police. The academy became increasingly harder to attend. The gifted girl next door disappeared one night without a note. Mother stopped letting me outside after dark, and the lines for the soup kitchens grew longer. The skies grew darker, the voices accustomed to speaking in whispers, and the television news seemingly had less and less to report. It was as if there was a blanket thrown upon us, but no one dared look who had thrown it. But I would. And when I did, I realized the earth needed a Star Child.